Really, man, professionalism, just standing on the morals that has got me this far, being very professional and organized. Every placement I've got as a producer was not because I sent somebody a beat and just was like, yeah, it was my professionalism. When they asked me, yo, I need your BMI info, I need all your info, it was there in a second. When they asked me, yo, I need the track outs, we doing something with this record, I didn't have to, yo, my guy got it in the computer. I was always organized, always professional.
What's happening, babe?
Right now, you listening to
Innovative Black Station.
Innovative Black Station. Innovative Black Station. The place where you can speak your
Mind.
Your mind.
Your mind.
Welcome to the Innovative Black Station. It's your host, J.Black. You tuned in to Inside the Industry. Today, man, we got a very special guest, man. It took a while to get him on. I've been trying to talk to his assistants and, all the different people to get through. And we got the superstar in the building. What's going on? We got Young X in the building. What's going on?
What's good, man? Thanks for having me,
For
man.
sure, man. For sure, man.
I called your assistant, man. I actually called for this interview. It was hard to get you.
Hey, we've been trying to plan this for a minute, but we finally here. You doing a lot. You're an entrepreneur. You're an artist. And you're a producer. How did all this come about?
Started with rapping when I was young, writing and rapping, and pretty much met some friends, and they let me join the group, and it ended up being me taking over the group, and the rest was history. But yeah, that's how it started, man. I was a rapper at first when I was real young, and it went from there.
Okay, so how did the production come? Because a lot of people is like, when you rapping, you making your own beats, you just start making your beats and you kind of fall in your lap. How did that come about?
When I was rapping, at the time, I couldn't really get in the studio as much as I wanted to, and I couldn't afford beats. Like, I remember I bought like 2 beats, and it was over after that. I was only like 14, I was working at McDonald's. Shit, 2 beats for $100, $200, that was damn near a check.
Yeah.
So it just got to the point where I just pretty much got my own little studio set up, and then recorded myself, and then from there I taught myself how to make beats. And then I did that so much that I like became an engineer. I never wanted to be an engineer. I didn't even call myself a producer or engineer. I was just doing it because I was, I had to record my own raps. But I started falling in love with it and developed a passion for it. And then I just had no time to do music, no time to rap. So that's how X became X.
And from the looks of it, it seems like the production is paying off. I want to say congrats, man. One of the songs you did has been placed in a movie.
For sure.
How did that come about? Tell the people what song that is.
A song called Blessing by me and K. Kent. Pretty much I met Kent through Stewie Rock. And from there I wanted to work with him. So we've been working. We did a couple records before, and then we ended up doing Blessing. And that's the record. That was just actually his first single as a signed major artist through Interscope was Blessing. And then from there, it was doing good. And we just got notified that Warner Bros. Is using it for the movie Unforgettable with Katherine Heigl. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Katherine Heigl and Rosario Dawson.
Okay, so with that, like, with the is it like how does that work? Like, is it like you get royalties from every time it's played in the movie, or how does that work?
It's a license.
A license, okay.
Yeah. They pay you to license the track to be able to use it.
Okay,
you know what I mean? So
that's dope. And before the interview, you was kind of talking with the Blessings track. Because I didn't even realize it, but you were saying that was K. Camp, his first, like, really singing kind of song.
Well, he was always singing. It was just, to me, from listening to him, because I followed him, it was his first, to me, dedicated female track. Like, to where I felt like women really knew who K. Camp was. Before, I think it was more of, like, a lot of street people, a lot of, club people, young people, but like a lot of women wasn't like, yo, K. Camp, love K. Camp, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like that was one of the records that really gave him a huge female fan base. And then of course after that, Comfortable is what solidified it.
Right.
So, but he got a lot of other records like that, especially after that. But if you listen to, I think the tape was called In Due Time.
Mm-hmm.
Blessing was the only track like that on his whole entire tape.
True.
It was the only R&B track.
True. Now, how big of a role do you play like in the studio with, like how hands on are you? Should I say?
I'm 102.5% hands on,
Mm-hmm.
literally with it, with the artist. I'm the writer, I'm the motivator, I'm the vocal coach, I'm the producer, I'm the beat arranger, I'm the director. I also got to be the motivator. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When everybody get discouraged, I got to kind of motivate the artist, to push the artist to do better.
Mm-hmm.
The engineer, like literally, I'm like Inspector Gadget
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the music. And I don't think I get as much credit, but it's cool because the work pays off eventually, you know. But yeah, I'm very hands on, man. Usually, sometimes when people get a beat from me, I'm not one of those people that just email you a beat. People usually hit me up. I don't like that. Don't call me to just email a beat. You know, I like to create from scratch. I like to work with the artist. You know, if I hear something in your voice, I want to play off of that right then and there.
Right.
You know, so but I see it all the way through, man. From
That's
the
kind
beginning
of
to the
a
end.
lost art today. It's just like, man, people
Yeah.
just send the beat, get their little check, and it's, you know, they go from there.
Yeah, because it's not really no true producers out now. It's a lot of beat makers. It's just a lot of people that make beats, which is cool. But it's not a lot of people, not a lot of directors. It's not a lot of people that's like taking something from and seeing it through. Like even after the song is done, a true producer also sees it through after that.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, it's stressful though.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it.
Who did you look up to? Like, you know, as in a producer on a production side, or even just in this industry, who do you look up to?
I mean, I get like moments. Like, I don't think it's a specific person, but I have moments. So I might see something very inspiring from Diddy. I might see something very inspiring from Hove. Something very inspiring from Pharrell, Timberland, Ryan Leslie. That's somebody I really admire. And it just really depends on who that person is, what they say at that time, and what they're currently doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have moments for inspiration depending on who it is. Sometimes it's 50 Cent. Right now it's Rick Ross. Like, you know what I mean? I like his mindset. I like what he do for his team. And he's a very gifted, smart person. You know, so yeah.
Okay, and we talked about Rick Ross, and you know, Rick Ross, he's a boss, and you spoke about him, you know, what he does for his team. You got multiple brands, you know, you're a producer, you're a artist, and you're an entrepreneur. How did the studio come about?
That was always one of my dreams. Like, I always wanted to open up a studio. I used to always be in studios, but when I was in Atlanta and stuff, and I think I had visited St. Louis, seen the studio Nelly made Country Grammar out of, and I'm just like, man, I need something. This is inspiring. Like, I will create so much more if I had a studio like this. So the studio was just always one of those things I wanted to have, and also it was kind of like my safety net too, as an entrepreneur, because you know, you could be an artist, you know, you can have dreams of making beats for people, but you also need something. You need some type of financial outsource that you can have right then and there. That's tangible, and I seen that the studio was my niche. It always been my niche since I first started my studio when I was 14 or 15 on a 98 Dell computer with just a microphone and a Phantom Power box, and somebody asked me, hey. Who recorded that song? And I'm like, I did. Well, I'll give you $15, you record mine. That's when it started. So I was an entrepreneur in the mind then, because that's why, you know, I even made the decision to say I don't need to be rapping right now. This is what's gonna make me some money right now. And still I'm doing what I love. Then when it come back around, I'll be able to do what I want to do.
Okay. Now, what makes your studio, Timeless Studios, you know, in Cincinnati, Ohio? Shout out to it. What makes Timeless Studios different than, you know, the experience? What makes it different than any other studio?
First and foremost, it has no expiration date on it. we always we stand behind that. We always reinventing new ideas, being innovative. You know what I'm saying, like yourself. And really, man, professionalism, just standing on the morals that has got me this far, being very professional and organized. Every placement I've got as a producer was not because I sent somebody a beat and just was like, yeah, it was my professionalism. When they asked me, yo, I need your BMI info, I need all your info, it was there in a second. When they asked me, yo, I need the track outs, we doing something with this record, I didn't have to, you know, yo, my guy got it in the computer. I was always organized, always professional, you know, and that's pretty much what separates Timeless Recordings from every other studio, not just in Cincinnati, but in Atlanta and different places. Is, you know, we stand behind professionalism, like to the T, period. You know, and we treat ourselves as if, you know, we in competition with a Chipotle or you know, a Honda. You know, if they're gonna give you customer reminders, we're gonna give you that. If they're gonna tell you to do a survey, we're gonna do that. You know, things like that. Just you know, memberships, reward programs. Like I go to a whole nother level with it, and it's just a recording studio.
Right.
Most studios don't care. They like come in, record. You won't even see the boss, or you won't even see nobody at that for that matter. You just plug up and figure it out.
Yeah, so it's really like a small corporation. Like you say, it's one of like a Chipotle, or, you know, it's run like a big business. So you got the studio, and you're down in Atlanta now, and you just recently released your project. You released a few projects that the Martin versus Malcolm, and then the For You album.
Yeah, last November.
The last November, and it has the For You for the single.
Yeah.
Now, are you taking the path as an artist now? Are you just still dabbling in everything?
Yeah, I'm still doing everything. I think now that I have the time, and a little money, just a little money, you know, I could now reinvest into the things that I always wanted to do, and that's focus on myself within my own music. I think I became an artist again, last June, and it was out of frustration. It was just out of, I'm tired of, you know, putting all my time into everybody else, and 80% of them not taking it serious. The other 10% not gonna do nothing with it, and the other 5 just not gonna listen. So I was just like, man, if I'm gonna keep dumping all this, instead of getting disappointed when I put all my time into somebody, I'm gonna just do that for myself. And whatever the outcome is, it is what it is. I won't have no regret for it because I'm doing it for me. So yeah, so I'm doing the artistry thing. I'm still making beats. I just I got some stuff brewing up soon. I made another major artist, which I landed a placement with. Actually, who we just spoke of, Rick Ross. So we waiting on the Self-Made 4. So they need to drop the Self-Made 4. And I don't know what the title of the record is. I know what the title of the beat that he chose, but not the record. But it is going to be on that album. So still doing producing, still doing studios. I'm in Atlanta now, currently looking to franchise and start a Timeless Recordings down here in Atlanta. And still doing the artistry thing. So.
Now you work with some pretty, you know, well-known or important people in the industry. How important is relationships?
Man, the most important. It should be probably number 1 on your list in terms of becoming an entrepreneur.
Is that more important than experience sometimes?
Yeah. You don't have to have any experience to have a relationship with somebody that can pull strings for you or that can do things for you. Half the people who are entrepreneurs lack a lot of things that they just have no knowledge in, but they have relationships with people that they can say, I need this, or I don't have this, but you could provide this, or how much would this be for me to, you know what I mean? I wouldn't doubt experience, like I wouldn't downplay it. They definitely neck to neck to an extent, but I feel like relationships is the most important aspect of not just business but life. Period.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can experience stuff. Picture a life experience. I mean, picture you experiencing life alone versus you
with other people, in the midst of other people. That's one of the 48 laws, not to isolate yourself. So, you know.
relationships.
Yeah. So man, Young X, what is some advice you've been in the game for a while, and and you've done a lot. What is some advice that you would give someone that's in the industry or that's coming up in the industry?
Not to put too much on yourself that's unnecessary. It's not the size of the load that brings you down, it's the way you carry it. You could have all this stuff going on, or you could have not so much going on and be stressed, but it's because of how you carrying it. You know what I'm saying? You got to carry your load different. I manage a lot of things, and I'm only 27 years old, and I still got a lot to go. I'm not where I want to be, but I all this stuff, I'm a father, I take care of my moms, my team, a lot of friends, and but I know how to balance and manage it. It becomes stressful, but I'm carrying it in a certain way where it ain't gonna be too overbearing for me.
So what do you see your career at in the next 5 years?
5, mogul status for sure. I see myself being up there with the Diddy's and the 50s. There is a new wave coming. They get old. People, kings don't live forever. So I see myself being in that next lineup for sure. That next L.A. Reid, that next Smokey Robinson, being a mogul to my generation, being an impact and inspiration to my generation. For sure, within the next 5, I could see that. I could see me solidifying myself in that, and changing the culture, and moving it.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Now, where can they find you at, man? If they want to find Young X, they want to book Young X, work with Young X.
Definitely. For Young X, that's the producer side of me. All my social media is X the producer. That's EXTHE producer, and also on the website as well. And then on the artistry side, it's MamaNamedMeEvan, MAMA named me Evan, EVAN. And if you looking to do any studio time, you want to work with me on a studio production, anything like that, or mixing, it's timelessrecordingstudio.com. So.
And right now, you pushing the Last November project.
Last November is out right now. It's on iTunes, Google Play, all the digital streams. For You is my single, which is the same. It's also on SoundCloud.
Getting a lot of radio play too.
Yeah. It's been pushing for all those people out of Cincinnati. Definitely call and request. It's on the Wiz right now. So 513-749-1011. Tell them to play For You by MamaNamedMeEvan. And we also doing a charity thing, onedayataTime.org, where we feed the homeless. So if you want to donate, if you want to come out and help for that, definitely do so. And a lot of great things coming.
He working, man. He too humble, man. He done did a lot, man. He's been on some of the biggest tracks. If you from Cincinnati, you know.
Yeah.
Any shout outs before you get out of here?
Yo, shout out to my little boy Jace, shout out Mom Deuce, to the whole family. Shout out to all my close friends, my circle, my team. And shout out to y'all for having me.
For sure.
Shout out to y'all for having me, man.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Young X, MamaNamedMeEvan, Innovative Black Station.
You gotta reply to tweets, you gotta reply to Facebook messages, you gotta keep them engaged because there's so much flying at you, so much music being released. It's easy to be forgotten about. And so I encourage artists message those who message you, appreciate those who appreciate you. It goes a long way.